Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It is a beautiful day here in Deep East, Texas. You can't really see it like I can see it, but anyway, the sun's setting and it's beautiful. But anyway, so I just have a little bit of time to do a video right here. It's been a few weeks since I've done one, and we've been really slow on work. It's just that time of the year, and so I'm like, oh man, I need to do a video. I need to put out some footage of something. And so it kind of dawned on me, like, man, I've ran a few different businesses, not just ran but owned, started from scratch, and by the grace of God was very successful in those three businesses. One of them I owned it was a tree trimming, tree removal, stump grinding business. Ran and owned it for let's see, 9 years, almost 10 years, something like that. And then we moved up to Arkansas. I started another business. It's been going now for a few years, altogether a few years. And then let's see here, we are now back in Texas, and I recently started about 7 months ago a land clearing business where we do land clearing, land mulching, stump grinding, and things of that nature. So I just want to do a quick video on just maybe some ins and outs of. I'm going to go with the stump grinding, because stump grinding is kind of middle ground. You can do stump grinding whether you're doing tree trimming or tree removal. You can also do stump grinding in the land clearing, land development area as well. So stump grinding, there's a large demand for stump grinding, and I've had many different machines. I've had 74 horsepower diesel dedicated machines that were on tracks. I've had a little bit smaller that was on. It was a 552 Vermeer stump grinder that was on wheels. It was four-wheel drive, had a push blade, really nice, really great machine. And I've had smaller 37 horse Vermeer stump grinders, and I've operated stump grinders on the back of tractors. I've operated really small stump grinders, Vermeer stump grinders. And now what I have is this one right here that is mounted on a Cat 299D3 skid steer. And the reason why I went with that route was because that is a high flow unit. It's a very powerful unit, and I'm able to go do work. I can work with the grapple, and then so I can do tree work, and then whenever I'm done with the tree work, I can just swap over the attachment and have a very efficient machine, all one on one, one unit, one skid steer. And so I just wanted to talk a little bit about stump grinding. If you're looking to start a stump grinding business, I'm going to first off and foremost tell you that it is not only a way to make an extra living. A lot of people do it just to make extra income. If you wanted to, depending on your area and how demanding it is in your area, you could possibly make a really good living just doing stump grinding. There are a lot of people that is all they do for a living. They do stump grinding, and they do that day in, day out, and they make a very fine living doing so. Ultimately, I would say, if you're a Christian, I would seek the Lord. I would seek counsel also from my brothers and sisters in Christ on starting up a new business. And from there, if the Lord is leading you to do so, then I would start doing my homework. And what I mean by homework, I would reach out to some of the local stump grinding contractors, and not just one. I would do multiple, because some people are very willing to share their knowledge with you of just what to charge per stump. You know, maybe what kind of machine to start out with, what you could potentially make in your area with that particular machine that you start out with. They'll be able to give you the ins and outs of stump grinding as more in detail than what I can do here in the next 10 minutes. So you can really pick their brain, and feel free to ask me any questions. I'm here to answer any questions that I possibly can. So, so that would be the first thing, is talk to 3 or 4, if not more, of your local stump grinding contractors. And I say that because the next person, or the first person you talk to, may not want to give you any information. He may possibly be a more greedy person, selfish, not wanting to share. He knows that if you get into the business, you're going to take some of his work, and so therefore he's not really willing to talk to you about anything. So find you a few different people who are willing to talk, and then take that information and utilize it. Utilize that information to further your homework. That information, use it, let it turn into wisdom, and make the best decisions as you possibly can for where you are, maybe financially, mentally, and emotionally, and all that stuff. So I would say that's going to be the biggest thing. The biggest thing is speaking to your local contractors. That would be I'm not saying that necessarily sums it up. I'll tell you what I did though. I'll be one of your contractors right here, even though I'm not local. Say that you hear that, hey, there's great money to be made in our area, and good luck to you. You know, wish you the best. Well, I'll tell you, me personally, if I was just starting out, and all of this is going to depend on where you are, like I said, financially and whatnot, and what can you afford? What can you afford to go get? Me personally, I think if you could start out with something with at least a 37 horsepower unit, 35, 37 horsepower unit. I really enjoy the 382, okay, Vermeer stump grinder. Right now I think they're going for around $40,000. A note on something like that, you're probably looking at $500 and something a month. And interest rates are a bit high right now. This is you know, we're about to end 2023, so we're here December 2023. So if you're watching this video later on down the line, this might not apply to you. But interest rates are you know, 9%. You know, they're fairly high. But I also will say that 500 and, you know, if you're at $500-600 a month for a stump grinder, you could go grind, you know, grind, just depending on your area, go grind a few stumps and you can have your payment made in one day. For the stump grinding realm, that's a fairly inexpensive way to get into stump grinding. And now you may be saying like, wow, man, that's a lot of money. My credit's bad. There's no way I could ever get into you know, a stump grinder like that. Okay, well, another way that you can do it is you can go to find a few different local rental places and see if they rent stump grinders, and find out what kind of stump grinders they rent, and And then just from that point, maybe go knock on a few doors before you ever go out spend any money on advertising or anything like that. Just go knock on some doors. Just drive around, and if you see some stumps, knock on that door, ask them if they want them ground. And based upon your first step, you'll already know how to grind, or you'll already know how to bid, in your area, because you done talked to a few of the locals around. So you can give them the bid, say they accept the bid, tell them that, all right, well, it'll be a couple weeks before I can get out there to this. Is that okay? And they'll typically say yes. That buys you some time to go knock for the next 2 weeks. For the next 2 weeks, you can knock doors and try to get more work. And then you can go and have, hopefully, several jobs. Rent the grinder on a Friday. A lot of places, if you rent on Friday, you can have it for the whole weekend. A lot of places are that way. And you can have the whole weekend to grind out those jobs. And you can do pretty well. You might rent the stump grinder for around $300. And you might end up doing $900 to $1,200 worth of stump grinding over the weekend. And that's one way to do it. So for y'all that can't just go out and I was that person, I know, I totally understand. It's hard to get those kind of loans whenever your debt's not the best. But then I would say, as you can, work on that bad credit and slowly start to pay off some of that stuff, and maybe get your credit up over the next couple years. And then once your credit score gets up to 650, or I think like 650 or so, to 680, something like that. Most people like it to be at least a 650 before they'll even entertain the thought of loaning to you. So start working on that credit. So, but that is one way that you can get started right away, is just go knock on some doors. Now say that is working out for you. It's working really good. You're knocking on some doors and you're getting some customers. Well, if it's working out for you there, I would maybe take it a bit further and start within those few weeks that you start running you some ads. You can run free ads on Google. You can run them on Facebook. You can run them on Craigslist, right? That's all free. So run you some ads, run them as often as you can, and that's going to get you some more business. And then you have some of the cheaper advertising that you can do, like some of your local paper, newspaper ads. You can run you an ad, get you some business cards made up. And it does not cost a whole lot to get business cards made up. I think when I first started getting cards made, man, what was it? You can get probably 500 cards for $50. It might be more like $75 now. But get you some cards made up. Do good work. Do really good work. Because good work and word of mouth is, or I'll say by doing good work, your word of mouth is going to bring you more business. So do really good work. And I know it's getting dark here, so I just got a little bit longer. Do good work. Do what you say you're going to do. If you are going to be late because of something, say you had a flat tire or something like that, well then communicate to the customer that. Communicate, call them, let them know that you're going to be late. So communicate well and do what you say you're going to do. And do it with excellence. That's going to set you apart from some of the other competitors. So that's just a few few tips. Start with talking to a local contractor in your area. Pick several of them and pick their brain. It don't take long. You can probably within just a week's time, you can have a lot of very useful information just by talking to a few people, learning the game. And stump grinding is very simple. There's not a whole lot of moving parts with stump grinding. It's very simple. It's not like building a house or even building a fence. It's very simple, and you can do it. You don't have to have anybody else. You can do it yourself, and it's very rewarding. And there's not a whole lot to it. It's not very physically demanding. So even some of you people at older age there, say that you're in your you done retired, you're in your 60s, and you retired, but man, you're getting tired of just sitting around doing nothing, and you want to get out and do something. Get you a stump grinder. If you don't want to get you one, say that you can get one, but you don't want to get one because you don't know if it's going to be worth it to you. Go rent one. And I will tell you that a lot of these places that you rent from, they have small grinders, and it might not be the funnest experience for you, but know that if you can just get the work, focus on just getting the work. If you know the work is there, hey, maybe just rough it for a little bit and see if it's going to see if the work's going to come in. And if it does, then I would encourage maybe take the next step, get you a little stump grinder, get you that 382 that I was talking about, the 382 Vermeer. It is a 37 horse four-wheel drive. It's you just need a little trailer, and it's a very efficient. And then they make them all the way up to real big units. I mean, the biggest one I had was a 74 horse diesel, and it had a wireless remote, and it was awesome. But anyway, start small. I would recommend start small and work your way up to bigger. Maybe do your first year and see how that goes, and maybe get you a little something bigger. Do a second year, and if it's still building up, maybe get you something a little bigger. But anyway, just it's possible, and it is not a complicated business. It's a very simple, relaxing business. Not a whole lot of moving parts. So, well, thank you very much for watching. It's getting a little dark here. I know you can probably barely see me, and I know that would drive me crazy if I was watching a video and I couldn't see the person. So please like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell and all that good stuff. And we thank you for watching. Hey, we love y'all. Be safe out there. Take care, and best of luck to you. God bless. Bye.